All right, let's get it started.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
All right, it is Thursday, October the 17th. This is the All About Nothing podcast, kind of daily show. So I know we did one yesterday and came back to do one again today. Just because I think that it's important I think it's important to do these. One, because if we continue to add content, then the likelihood is that we will we'll gain more listeners, followers, whatever. Which is I think that's always the preference. I think I tried to go live several times a day. I had to reboot my computer. I've not ever had to do that before. It's an older Mac, but it works 99% of the time. And for some reason today, my microphone just decided to crap out over and over. I hope that is not indicative of any problems that I have going forward. So just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the show. You're watching this on YouTube. If you hit the notification bell, when we go live, you'll get a notification saying that we're live, or if we've released an episode, you'll get that. Also, if you could, please consider supporting us, our show. We have monthly memberships that are available starting at $3, going up to, I don't know, 20. But it gives you early access to episodes, as well as it also gives you access to exclusive content that we've recorded that wasn't necessarily released to the public, but mostly just to our members. Also, if you could, give us feedback. Also, subscribe to our podcast on on any of the podcast platforms as well. And if you can't join us and become a member, you could always go ahead and give us a 5-star review or drop a thumbs up. All of that helps drive our show higher up in all these podcast ratings. So with that out of the way, being October the 17th, it is Thursday. And I wanted to go ahead and share the states that are early voting. And there's a good number of them. We're not yet halfway. I take that back. We are sitting at halfway as of today, because North Carolina is now early voting. We are 50 states. Out of 50 states, we are at 25. That's not really halfway though, because we have several territories that are also voting. So we're not halfway through the states. We are 25. We are edging closer though to having all of the states have their early voting, except for a few states that don't actually do any early voting. Which, if you didn't know, Alabama does not early vote. New Hampshire also does not early vote. So Alabama and New Hampshire don't early vote. North Dakota, I put that there's no early voting, but I only did that out of spite. I don't know when the early voting is allowed in North Dakota, because they want you to contact each individual county to determine whether or not early voting is open. And I find that to be more than annoying, that they can't just publish when the early voting is for North Dakota. Which brings me back to my whole point. And I know I'm going to die on this hill, but North Dakota and South Dakota should not be two different states. At the very least, it should be one. At the most, it should be combined with Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. It should all just be the Montana territory, or the Wyoming territory. I like the name Wyoming and Montana better than I do South and North Dakota. So, and I know there are people that are going to disagree with me. It messes up the whole schema with the 50 states and yada yada yada. I I don't think our Constitution has anything in it that any amendments that have anything to do with our states have to be an even number, or the stars on the flag have to be spread out evenly. And in order to do that, we have to accommodate by having enough states to make it look pretty. So I only say it because between those four states, there's roughly 2 million people. But those four states have 8 senators and a slew of representatives that hold an unbelievable amount of power for 8 out of the 100 senators. I mean, that's to me, it's just atrocious that we have such low population density. And anyway, that's my high horse, or my soapbox, or whatever. So anyway, so yeah, so 3 states. North Dakota's probably early voting, but I'm not going to contact their counties to find out when. But New Hampshire and Alabama definitely don't do early voting. So here we go. This is the early voting for Thursday, October 17th. So Arizona, California, Georgia, Guam, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Maine, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, if you have an excuse as to why it is that you need to vote early. And then Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, North Carolina starts early voting today. So go out and do that. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Dakota. Yeah, South Dakota. Tennessee, Vermont, Virginia, the Virgin Islands, and Wyoming. So those are all of the 25 states and territories of the United States that are early voting. So definitely, if you are in one of those states and you have the opportunity, go take advantage of it, because it is going to make your life so much easier to go ahead and get that voting done. Because if if you don't, then there's a possibility that you are going to be sitting in unbelievable lines, and I don't think you want to do that. Do want to talk about state of Georgia, because they are. Today is the third day that early voting has been open in the state of Georgia, and on Tuesday, when early voting started, more than 300,000 Georgians cast a ballot on Tuesday. Huge number. On Wednesday, yesterday, there was no signs that it was slowing down. There was another nearly 300,000 people that went and voted early yesterday. My mother and brother included. I got a call yesterday, said that they had early voted. So encouraging everyone to early vote, because it just makes it so much easier. It's done and out of the way. You're not going to have to send in any of the lines on election day. To me, it ultimately just makes sense to early vote. I will early vote as soon as I can, which is going to be October the 21st here in South Carolina. And I would love to see numbers, obviously not exactly the same in Georgia, because Georgia's got, I don't know, 4 million more people in it than South Carolina, voters, 4 or 5 million. But over the course of the first 2 days, Georgia has seen more than 500,000 people vote, and that's huge. I know those numbers are going to probably dwindle off, but I think that's just huge. So message is vote early and get it done, so that hopefully when November 5th gets here and the polls close and the counting starts, then we'll get an announcement earlier. I was telling a friend yesterday, I said, I'm going to be in Fort Mill with my candidate, Matt Villardebeau. who you can check out his webpage, mattv4sc.com. But I'm going to be up in Fort Mill with him on election day as we go from precinct to precinct, and just visiting with the precincts, and probably, just seeing how things are going. The running of the precincts is brutal work, and these people that run precincts for these elections are doing it out of, they get paid. At least in South Carolina, they get paid, but it is out of the kindness and determination so that everyone has an opportunity to vote in a facility that is as close to their home as possible. That's the whole idea behind having these precincts all open. Is it gives all of the voters the opportunity to vote at a location that is closest to their home as possible. So go take advantage of the early voting, because the precincts are going to fill up on election day. Here in Lexington County, I think there's 3 different locations open in West Columbia, Irmo, and Lexington. And there are enough locations open that early voting here in South Carolina should make it relatively easier for November 5th, when the election actually starts, or on election day. So again, if you can, vote early. That's I think voting early, if you don't have the opportunity to do mail-in balloting, or if there are different rules attached to the absentee balloting, voting early, if it's available, is definitely the easiest way to go. I will do it on next Monday, so on the 21st, I will go and early vote, and I'll come back and I'll tell you how it went. So, last thing I did want to bring up is Zach and I are going to be at the KC West Columbia JC's location on Walter Price Road tonight. We are going to be doing a live broadcast recording. The Hall of Horrors, Shelby, O'Shawn, Alex, the entire group, they're doing their first blackout night tonight, which I think I described recently as you have some lighting when you go to see the haunted attraction on Saturdays, Fridays. You have some lighting. For this, there's less lighting. It's a blackout night, but I've got all of our equipment ready. Zach and I are going to go through the haunted house, the haunted attraction, I guess. We're going to go through the haunted attraction. I'm going to film us and record us so that you get our reactions to it. So it should be a lot of fun. But come out and join us. It's going to be tonight. We will go live at 7:30 for probably an hour or so, and then we'll get our spots in line to go through the haunted attraction. So it is the Hall of Horrors, put on by the KC West Columbia JCs, Shelby, O'Shawn, Alex, their entire crew, all of their actors. We are excited to have this opportunity to come out there. So 1153 Walter Price Road in KC, South Carolina. So definitely want everybody to come out and join us if you do have that availability. So let's see. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this early morning episode. Because I guess, well, the last thing I'll say is, if you haven't yet, go watch I'm sure it's on YouTube, but go watch the interview of Vice President Harris with Bret Baier on Fox News. I thought that she did an exceptional job. And I know that on the other side, there are people that are going to say that, no, he owned her or whatever. And then on the left side, they're going to say, no, she owned him. I think she did an exceptional job for being in a mostly hostile environment. And I think that if there were any takeaways from it that were positive, because I think there were a lot of positive takeaways from it. But if there were any negatives, it was that neither one of them seemed to really recognize and respect the well, I take that back. I think she did. He would ask a question and she would begin answering it. But if he didn't like the way the answer was going, or maybe somebody was in his ear telling him, but if 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 someone didn't like the way that her answer was going, he began to push in by speaking over her. And I think she did an exceptional job of continuing to speak while he was speaking until he finally gave in. And it happened several times. It happened, well, a couple times. It happened a couple times. But go watch the interview. I think she did an exceptional job, and I think she laid out the groundwork for the differences between her and Donald Trump. And I think it was a good it was definitely it wasn't a great interview, but I think she did well with what was available. So that is going to do it. I'm going to wrap it up for this kind of daily show. This is the All About Nothing podcast. I am Barrett Gruber. Thank you very much for watching. Again, subscribe to the show and hit the notification bell, because that will tell you when we're here and when new episodes come out. Go to our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. Also, check out zjzdesigns.com. They are that is actually my mother's business. She has some exceptionally designed t-shirts and apparel and gift ideas for currently for Halloween. We do still have a little bit of time left. You can probably get an order in and get that received, but she's also got a line of Thanksgiving apparel and gifts that are out there currently. So go and check those out. You can find a link usually on our webpage. There are some video ads that you can check out, but go check that out, zjzdesigns.com, and order your shirts. And they're long sleeve shirts, they're hoodies, they're really cool design shirts. You can check out Tommy the Turkey. I'm supposed to be getting one in the mail soon, so I will wear that upon one of these early morning recordings. So we'll do that. All right. That's going to do it. The All About Nothing podcast. I'm Barrett Gruber. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And we'll talk to you again really soon.